Yeah, let's talk about Bronson. It's incredible. It's based on a real guy. Uh, Britain's most violent prisoner. He's been in prison for like 30 something years, 36 years at this point, I think, and he's spent 30 of them in solitary confinement. This movie was made in 2008. Um, you know what I really wanted to do first was play that films thing that I found.
No, the little preview blurb.
Yeah, it's a nice preview and it shows his work, and then we can jump into Bronson. I think it's a better idea.
I think we should talk about the movies and then show it.
Okay, we'll do that then. Jesus Christ. All right, Bronson, made in 2008, starring Tom Hardy, directed by Nicolas Refn. Tom Hardy bulked up for this, just as he did for Bane. When was Dark Knight Rises made? After this, right?
Yes.
This was the first movie that he got really big for. Put on a lot of fucking muscle mass. I think he's bigger in Dark Knight Rises though.
Yeah, he's huge in that movie.
Yeah.
But a lot of makeup and everything in that one though.
Okay, the synopsis quickly. It's a young man who's sentenced 7 years in prison for robbing a post office, spent 30 years in solitary confinement. And he just kicks the shit out of everybody he sees. He's beating the fuck out of every guard. He's never killed anybody though. Apparently there was a few years ago I found out there was like 2 or 3 protests like trying to have him free Bronson.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's never killed anybody and he's been in solitary confinement for 30 years.
Sure.
And apparently the past few years he's been meek and mild, just hanging out, not kicking people's teeth in.
I mean, you have to think about it though. You know, if you do a bunch of small crimes that are worth 2 years each, you do 15 of those. You know, so I think people kind of look at it like, and you heard about that. You heard a lot of backlash about that with the movie, but you know, it's not like 30 years for one crime.
Yeah, not at all. The whole time he's been in, he's been kicking the shit out of everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point.
I like the movie a lot because it's really more than like a biopic. I saw an interview with Tom Hardy where he was kind of putting this into perspective. Instead of it just being like a normal biopic, like this guy grows up and does a crime and then this is what he goes through, and talking about the actual him doing that, it's more told from Bronson's point of view. Like a lot of it takes place in his like head, in his imagination, and the way Refn directs it. You shutting a window, Bill? It's like shots of like him on a stage, kind of telling his story and acting things out. It's just really fucking beautifully done. Tom Hardy was incredible. It's just great to see such a incredible actor do different characters. I haven't seen a movie I haven't liked him in, even though I've only seen like 4. But he's a different character in every movie and dynamic character in every movie.
Yeah. It's the most colorful of Refn's movies, I feel like. I mean, this one, you got like the face paint scenes where he's all painted up. It's kind of elaborate. It's loud. It's kind of brash and flashy. That kind of rhymes, which I didn't mean, but you know, I don't feel like his other movies, even though they have like bright colors and things, that they don't seem as kind of in your face as maybe vulgar.
They're a lot more subdued, the other movies he's done.
Yeah.
This one is a lot more
but it's all him too, to be fair, because it's not like all the characters are like that.
Oh yeah. It's
Tom
definitely
Hardy
Tom Hardy going crazy, doing what he does. I highly recommend this movie. I think it's great. I've yet to watch it, but there's a YouTube video. I guess it was an actual documentary called The Real Bronson. I'm assuming it came out after this movie was made, but it's on YouTube. You can watch it. It's like 45 minutes long. I haven't watched it yet, but I really want to, because I want to know what this dude's really all about. I mean, the movie tells pretty well. Like, you get a kind of a good. Um, I gotta turn this off because it's in my ear. It's weird. What's going on here? You get just a little taste with the movie, but you never know until you actually see the person go through these things. Who else was in this movie? Fuck, there's a lot of people in this movie.
Were there? I don't know that there were. I didn't recognize anybody in that movie.
Kelly Adams, Louis Andrews, Katie Barker, Gordon Brown, Amanda Burton. I feel like I recognized someone, and I can't remember who it was now. Anyway.
Yeah. See, I don't know. As much as I like Tom Hardy, I'm going to take kind of a different tack. I thought he did a great job, but I didn't like the movie very much. I didn't feel like, it's sort of the theme with his movies is you don't get your typical story arc. You don't get redemption. You don't have, like, conflict, and then they overcome it, get by or anything, which I guess is fair since it's a true story. But,
excuse me.
Bless you. But, I just felt like there was a lot of art to it, and Tom Hardy, like I said, did a very good job. But I don't know, I was kind of unfulfilled by the whole thing. I felt like it was, like a big cabaret, and then not as much of like a complete film.
That's kind of like why I liked it though. A movie about such a crazy individual who's like constantly fucking getting in fights, just a brutal person, told in such a theatrical, artsy way. You know what I mean? It's like this weird juxtaposition of his character in these scenes when he's on the stage, and he's painted up and he's like acting things out theatrically. It's just like kind of a weird, I liked the differences, the way it's played up.
Man, one of the recurring scenes that you keep seeing in the movie, I guess, is true to form for the real Bronson, but he takes all his clothes off, and you kind of see it coming.
Yeah,
and then it starts, and then what's he like? Wipe my fucking back. Wipe my ass cheeks or
he's
whatever.
Putting on his armor. Yeah. He's getting all lotioned up so that when the guards come to try and grab him, they can't get a hold of him.
Yeah,
I'm putting on my armor.
Those were great. I mean, you really kind of felt it, and you're like, man, this guy, and everybody around him's terrified, and the guards finally break in. But those were pretty good scenes.
I'm usually not a fan of people stripping down for what seems like no reason repeatedly in a movie, but it kind of makes sense. You kind of understand why this character, why he's doing it, and it's not like it doesn't take you out of the movie like, God, I got to see this dude's cock again. Like,
pretty tough guy.
Bronson, 2008. Anything else you want to say about it? I think it's a great movie. I think everyone should see it because, especially if you liked Tom Hardy as Bane, it's good to see him play. I wouldn't say necessarily a completely different kind of character, but it's a different character. You know what I mean? Like, to see some of his range, and especially even more so, if you liked him, the first movie I saw him in was Star Trek, Nemesis, where he's playing a clone of Jean-Luc Picard, and that's just a completely different fucking. He's just scrawny dude, like he's real thin, and he's basically doing a Patrick Stewart.
That'd be interesting.
It's a really good movie. It's as far as the Star Trek movies, it's thought to be one of the worst ones, but I really liked it because I like Star Trek.
I think Lawless is one of the movies we're going to be covering coming up maybe next week or the week after, but Tom Hardy's in that.
Okay.
He plays this just backwoods, just redneck moonshiner.
Oh, really?
Doesn't really talk. Kiri loved Lawless because of Tom Hardy, but it's another kind of example of him. He's just this backwoods moonshiner, and really different, real quiet, very cerebral. It's kind of threatening again because he always is, but not not loud.
That is a weird. It seems like all of his roles that I've seen so far, and I hadn't seen that one yet, but he's has a menacing quality to him in each one. Of course, Bane, Bronson, And even in Star Trek, it's
Yeah.
called Nemesis. It's like based on, it's like him. He is the Nemesis,
Oh
but
yeah.
he's just like a different type of menacing.
Yeah. In Inception, remember he's like that real flashy guy in Inception with the guns. He's gets the machine guns.
Oh fuck, he was in that.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. We do our homework.
He just fucking.
We do good work.
No, but I mean, okay, that movie you got Leo, you got fucking what's her face, but Ellen Page was in that.
Yeah.
You got everybody was in that,
Everybody was in that.
and everyone was so like breakout, like huge and really good in that movie that
Yeah.
he kind of it mentally slipped through my cracks.
Sure. Yeah. Lawless. He's terrifying in Lawless.